russosbrand.com, where the pros are the pros.
Well, Vince, your prediction came true as SmackDown, for the first time ever, was under 1 million viewers, 933,000. Now, people are saying you need to take into consideration that the World Series was on, that it was Halloween.
Al, what did they have in McDonald's down the road? What they got there, Al?
They got a place with a ball crawl. I don't care what, and you are the worst about this. You guys you always say, well, there's more choice now. There's more choice. There's always been choice. There's always been other entertainment avenues for the general public to pursue. And no matter what and especially these days, the options are just easier to access than what they once were prior. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, at the end of the day, you got to look at what you're doing and go, well, clearly we're not putting out what they want to see, because if we were, they would have tuned in to see it. Because back when, we were winning the Monday Night Wars, think of this, okay? And really, it's amazing when you really stop and think about it. At that time, during that period when it was obviously really hot, and I'm going to give you your flowers. You wrote good TV. It was entertaining from start to finish. And that was what made a big part of the difference. So we were drawing numbers in the 7s and 8s, I think it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
While WCW, meantime, on the same night was drawing 6s, 5s, and 6s. Well, that's a significant number when you combine the two of an audience. Where did all those people go?
Yeah.
It was the World Series and et cetera. Well, there was a World Series back then too.
Yeah.
There was NFL football back then. There was other television shows back then. Again, McDonald's had a place with a ball crawl. Grimace was standing outside. But where does it end? You got to stop justifying, and you got to start examining, what are you doing?
Great.
And hey, you can say whatever you want to say. I acknowledge the fact that, we're not drawing the numbers that we should, live attendance wise or television wise. And, I go through the same thing here where I'll be talking. I'll be like, what are we not doing? Well, you got to understand, there was a high school football game. There was this, there was that. I go, no, you have to look internally. And you have to evaluate, what am I not giving the audience that clearly we need to give them, that they are not getting, for them to want to go on a regular basis. Simple as that.
Yeah, Al, but here's what's going to... here's what's going to affect your business. Al, it's the trickle-down effect. If the WWE is not hot and people are not watching it, bro, that is going to affect every single indie promotion.
It does, because when WWE rises, so does interest and viability for everyone else.
That's right.
That it's always been the case.
Yeah.
But we're not right now. WWE they're doing well for themselves. And this is a one period of time where, when WWE is doing well, nobody else really is.
But Al, they're doing well money-wise. Do you know it on Monday? I think it was either Raw or SmackDown, Jeff. I don't know if this is part of your story. Al, there was 4,200 people in the building. 4,200.
What's the building hold?
I think it held about 10,000. Hey, you guys want to hear something really interesting, Al? Because you talk about the choices and everything else like this. Jeff, this will freaking blow you away, because I could not believe it. Bro, in my house, you guys, I have the channels I want. The things I want to see, I have the channels I want, right?
And cult members chained up in your basement. But go ahead.
All right, Al, anyway. So, Al, I go to my Airbnb in New York, right? And basically, like, I've got to have basic cable, but everybody that goes in and stays there, they're getting whatever stream they want. They're using their password and stuff. And, as long as I got a streaming TV, a smart TV, I'm cool, right?
Right.
So Spectrum is huge. Spectrum is huge on the East Coast. So, Jeff, I have a basic Spectrum package.
We have Spectrum all the way here.
Okay, there you go. Spectrum's used. Jeff, I'm going to watch the World Series. I want to watch football on Sunday. I had to pay for Fox. I could not watch the World Series. Fox was not part of the basic cable subscription. Are you freaking kidding? Bro,
do rabbit ears still work? Can you get it free with rabbit ears still?
You're paying for everything, Al. You are paying to watch. Bro, you know how, what was the thing? Cutting the plug, cutting the cord, or whatever everybody was saying. Bro, now you're paying more than you were before you cut the cord, man.
But hey, come on. If I had your money, I'd burn mine. So come on. I looked up your net worth online.
All right, Jeff, what else you have?
Complaining about paying for Fox on Spectrum? You got that kind of money and you're complaining about that, you skinflint?
To me, it doesn't matter what's on. The big story here is this is WWE under 1 million. Like, you would never even think that the day would even come, no matter if the deceased Beatles resurrected and they had a reunion, you still wouldn't think WWE would get under 1 million.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
I don't know that I remember back before, right prior, this was in the mid 90s, in 95, 96. And Vince, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Let's say between the periods of 95 to 97, I'm sure Meltzer will weigh in on his, well, no, that was wrong. It's this time. The ratings, the average rating for Raw was sometimes a 2, maybe a 3 was high, but it never got down even to 1.
No.
It was always in the 2s and the 3s. Not much. It was maybe 3.5 or a little higher, but never beyond that. And that was considered stable and good. It wasn't until we hit the Attitude Era and things went up, the same for WCW. WCW on their worst day, think about this. WCW on their worst day, before they were sold, were drawing 3 million people.
Yeah.
And Time Warner still was like, man, we just need to get rid of that,
Yeah.
And we'll bring in basketball that's drawing less than a 1.
Yeah.
Well, that makes brilliant business sense.
I remember, Al, when Nitro would get preempted for the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
The NBA playoffs did a lower number than Nitro normally did in that slot.
They would, yeah. They would get Nitro would get at least a 3, and then the NBA playoffs would get no more than a 1. Or a 1.2 or 3. I'm sure Meltzer will weigh in on this too. So,
yeah, we're talking.
I know. I got to show what I know about the business.
We are. This is factual. On Monday nights, at its peak, both shows combined were doing over 10 million people.
Yeah,
both shows combined. Now we're under 1 million,
and that's terrifying.
Yeah,
it is. Why? Well, a lot of us are going to have a supposition. All of us are going to have an assumption. All of us are going to have an opinion. I truly and genuinely am completely 100% convinced that it's because the talent in the ring are so focused and so motivated by having the best match on the show, getting a nickel, selling what they do, and not selling who they are or why they're doing it.